Many people assume that feeling thirsty is the only indicator of dehydration, but that is not always the case, especially once we reach our 80s. If you have ever experienced sudden fatigue, lightheadedness, or that nagging sense of dryness you just cannot shake, you may be overlooking a critical aspect of healthy aging: proper hydration. As we grow older, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. At the same time, we face challenges such as more frequent medication use, changes in kidney function, and a natural decrease in total body water. This combination makes dehydration a real concern, yet it is rarely discussed as a top health priority. Today, we are going to talk about how small changes in your daily routine could significantly protect you from energy slumps, confusion, and even some avoidable health scares. The goal is to shine a light on 4 common hydration mistakes that many people over 80 make, and to explore practical, manageable ways to avoid them. Why does this matter so much? When the body's underhydrated, it does not just affect the way you feel. It can lead to issues such as weakened immune response, urinary tract problems, and reduced clarity in thinking. It can even contribute to muscle cramps or make you more prone to falls. If you have found yourself cutting back on water because of concerns about incontinence or the hassle of too many bathroom trips, you are not alone. That is exactly why addressing these hydration habits can have such a meaningful impact. By making a few strategic adjustments, you may find you can stabilize your energy levels, maintain clearer thinking, and support your overall vitality in ways you never thought possible. As we go through these 4 common hydration mistakes, you will see that each one might feel familiar, and it might seem easier to dismiss them as minor details. But do not be fooled. Even subtle missteps can have real consequences for our health as we move into our later years. The good news is that every one of these issues can be turned around with mindful planning and a willingness to experiment with small, consistent changes. Whether you are worried about medication side effects or simply not feeling as thirsty as you used to, you can take control. My promise is that by the end of this conversation, you will have a roadmap that feels achievable, safe, and respectful of your unique needs. I have spent years exploring how diet, hydration, and everyday habits impact seniors, speaking with older adults about their day-to-day challenges and successes. Along the way, I have learned that addressing hydration is often the hidden key that unlocks a higher quality of life. This is not about radical transformation or a complete overhaul of your daily routine. Instead, it is about uncovering the overlooked habits that may be working against you and replacing them with choices that keep you better hydrated, more comfortable, and more confident. If at any point something resonates with you, jot it down, or feel free to pause and reflect on how you might put these ideas into practice. After all, these small shifts could make a big difference in how you feel day to day, and it is worth taking a moment to consider which actions fit best for you. Now let us take a closer look at the first hydration mistake. You may be surprised to discover how common it is among those of us who have crossed into our 80s. The first mistake is something many seniors do without even realizing it: limiting fluid intake to reduce trips to the bathroom. The fear of urgency, accidental leakage, or simply the inconvenience of frequent restroom breaks often leads older adults to drink less water than they truly need. This decision is easy to justify. After all, dealing with incontinence or mobility issues in the middle of the night can feel overwhelming. However, cutting back on fluids can lead to dehydration, which has far more serious consequences than an extra trip to the bathroom. Consider a scenario like Marion's. She is 84 and has some difficulty walking due to arthritis. She noticed that whenever she drank the recommended amount of water, she had to make multiple trips to the restroom, especially at night. This was discouraging, so she gradually began sipping less and less water, certain this would help her rest better. The result, though, was increased fatigue during the day, sudden dizzy spells, and even a hospitalization for a severe urinary tract infection. At first, she thought this was just part of getting older, but her doctor explained that a large part of the issue stemmed from her decision to self-limit fluids. The surprising fact is that while reducing fluid intake might slightly lessen bathroom visits, it also concentrates urine, which can irritate the bladder more. This increases the risk of infections and can even aggravate incontinence over time. A better approach involves spacing out your fluid intake. Drink smaller amounts more frequently. This way, your bladder has a steadier flow of fluids rather than a large volume all at once. You can also try sipping herbal teas or infused water if plain water feels boring. The key is consistency. Drink enough during the day and taper slightly before bedtime to keep nighttime disruptions lower. This balanced strategy can help you avoid the highs and lows that come from drinking too much all at once or too little overall. Choosing to stay properly hydrated also supports blood pressure stability, making it less likely you will experience sudden drops in blood pressure that could lead to a fall. On an emotional level, feeling capable and in control of your hydration needs can boost your confidence. If incontinence or mobility is a pressing issue, consider working with a physical therapist or asking your healthcare provider about exercises that improve pelvic floor strength. They might also recommend scheduling your fluid intake and bathroom visits around certain activities. That way, you maintain control and still get the hydration you need. By making this shift, you not only lower the risk of infections, but also improve your overall comfort and sense of well-being. Before we move on, ask yourself if you have been avoiding water or other healthy liquids for fear of too many bathroom trips. Is it possible that this strategy might be doing more harm than good for your body? Reflect on how you might adjust your fluid timing or even explore new beverage options that you find more appealing. Remember, small, steady changes can make a noticeable difference in how you feel each day. The second mistake is ignoring the decreasing sense of thirst. Many of us learn from a young age to just drink when you feel thirsty. Unfortunately, this advice loses effectiveness as we age. Our thirst mechanism is not as sharp after 80, which means that by the time we register thirst, we could already be significantly dehydrated. This subtle shift in our body's signals is easy to overlook. We assume we are still in tune with our hydration needs, not realizing that the quiet sensation we used to rely on might now be misleading. Joan, who is 87, often mentions how she barely feels thirsty anymore. Because of this, she believed she was drinking enough fluids. Over time, she started noticing headaches and increased irritability. Simple tasks like sorting mail or talking to her neighbors left her feeling unusually drained. A casual conversation with her daughter revealed how little fluid she was actually taking in each day. Once she started taking small sips of water or low-sugar electrolyte drinks every couple of hours, rather than waiting for her thirst to remind her, her energy and mood improved noticeably. Experts often say that after a certain age, thirst becomes an unreliable indicator. Instead of waiting for that dry mouth or craving for water, a more proactive approach is necessary. You might place a water pitcher in a visible spot in your kitchen or living room as a reminder. Some seniors set gentle phone alarms or link their water intake to daily routines, such as taking medication or sitting down to watch a favorite show. The point is to treat water like an essential nutrient rather than a response to a feeling. Pay attention to the color of your urine. If it is consistently dark yellow, it is a sign that your body needs more fluids. Emotionally, it can be empowering to outsmart the body's fading thirst cue. It is a small way to demonstrate you are still in control, making an active choice rather than slipping into unintentional dehydration. By doing so, you can also help support mental clarity, potentially easing that foggy feeling that sometimes creeps in throughout the day. If you find that plain water is unappealing, you can try flavoring it with citrus slices, cucumber, or mint to make the habit more enjoyable. Have you noticed yourself rarely feeling thirsty? If so, reflect on whether this is an accurate gauge or if it might be time to establish a simple hydration routine, even if it means setting reminders for yourself. Sometimes a small hack like this can make all the difference in staying one step ahead of dehydration. Now that we have explored the first two hydration mistakes, take a moment to think about what you have heard so far. Do any of these scenarios feel familiar in your own life? This could be an opportunity to share your thoughts with someone close to you or to jot down any ideas you want to remember. It is amazing how one small change in mindset can ripple into bigger improvements for your health. The third common mistake is relying on dehydrating beverages without balancing them out. Many seniors enjoy a morning cup of coffee or an afternoon cup of tea, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with savoring these moments of comfort. The issue arises when beverages containing caffeine or certain herbal ingredients become your primary source of fluids. Caffeine is a mild diuretic, which means it can encourage the body to lose water faster. If coffee, tea, or caffeinated sodas dominate your daily intake, you risk falling into a state of constant low-grade dehydration. Think of Ronald, who is 81 and loves his morning routine of reading the paper with 2 cups of coffee. He believed he was covering his fluid needs because he was indeed drinking several cups of liquid a day. What he did not realize was that each cup of coffee was nudging him toward losing more water than he was putting in. Eventually, Ronald found himself fatigued by midday, and he began experiencing aches he could not explain. When he switched to just 1 morning cup of coffee and added a glass of water alongside it, plus a few herbal teas throughout the day, he noticed better energy and fewer tension and headaches. Another overlooked aspect is alcohol. Some seniors may enjoy a glass of wine or beer in the evening to wind down, not realizing that alcohol also has a diuretic effect. Even a small amount can contribute to dehydration, especially if you are already not drinking enough water. This does not mean you must give up these beverages entirely. Simply find ways to balance them. For each cup of coffee or alcoholic beverage, you might have a half or full glass of water. If you enjoy tea, consider exploring low caffeine or caffeine-free options. And always remember that thirst signals can be muted, so do not rely on your body to tell you it is time for a water break. On an emotional level, maintaining a bit of routine and comfort in your beverages can be important for morale. The key is to enjoy these beverages as a treat or part of your social routine, while compensating with adequate water intake. This balanced approach allows you to maintain cherished habits without sacrificing your hydration. If you find yourself particularly fond of coffee or tea, consider trying water-diluted versions or herbal blends that still provide warmth and flavor, but with less caffeine. Each small adjustment can help you stay energized, reduce headaches, and support stable blood pressure. Ask yourself if your favorite drinks might be slowly drawing more water out of your system than you are replenishing. If the answer is yes, a simple plan to alternate each cup of coffee or alcoholic drink with water might be a great first step. You might be surprised at how quickly you feel the difference once you balance out these dehydrating options. The fourth mistake is overlooking electrolyte balance. Hydration is not just about water, it is also about ensuring that the minerals and salts in your body remain in proper proportion. Seniors who do try to drink more water sometimes overdo it to the point that they dilute important electrolytes, like sodium and potassium. Alternatively, many seniors do not realize that certain medications for blood pressure or heart conditions can affect how electrolytes are balanced in the body. Take Sarah, who is 85, and started a new medication for her hypertension. She was proud of herself for increasing her daily water intake, as recommended by a health program she saw on television. However, she began to experience muscle weakness and confusion. A trip to the doctor revealed her sodium levels were lower than ideal. The solution was not to stop drinking water altogether, but to incorporate small amounts of electrolyte solutions and to speak with her healthcare provider about adjusting her medication schedule. Once she made those changes, her muscle function and mental clarity bounced back. Electrolytes help regulate muscle contractions, nerve impulses, and fluid balance within our cells. If you have ever felt dizzy or unusually weak, it could be related to an imbalance. For some people, simply adding foods rich in potassium, like bananas, spinach, or cooked beans, and moderate amounts of salt to meals can help stabilize these levels. Others might benefit from a low-sugar electrolyte drink, though it is important to be mindful of added sugars or artificial sweeteners. One strategy is to split a single serving over a larger volume of water so you get a mild but consistent supply throughout the day. Emotionally, knowing the right balance can give you a sense of security. Dehydration and electrolyte imbalances can sometimes produce feelings of anxiety or confusion, particularly in older adults. If your medication list is extensive, talking to your doctor or pharmacist about how each prescription might affect hydration or electrolyte status is well worth your time. They may advise blood tests or suggest specific nutrient guidelines to help you stay on track. By being proactive, you can take charge of your health in a way that goes beyond simply counting glasses of water. The emotional benefit is a calmer, more confident approach to daily life, without the sudden dips in energy or disorienting confusion that sometimes stem from an unbalanced system. Consider whether you have been focusing only on water without thinking about electrolytes. Or perhaps you suspect your medications might be influencing how your body handles fluids. If so, this is an excellent time to have a conversation with a healthcare professional. Making these small corrections can help keep your muscles strong, your mind clear, and your general outlook more positive. We have now covered 4 common hydration mistakes after 80: limiting fluid intake due to bathroom concerns, relying on thirst signals that have grown unreliable, depending too heavily on dehydrating beverages, and neglecting electrolyte balance. Take a moment to reflect on which of these areas might be affecting you the most. It could be one, or it might be a combination. The key is recognizing these patterns and remembering you are never too old to adapt and thrive. If you find these ideas helpful, consider sharing them with a friend or loved one who might also be struggling with hydration issues. Simply hearing someone else's story or insights can spark a positive change. Have you seen any of these patterns in your own life or in the lives of those you care about? Talking it through can be the first step toward lasting improvements. It is worth emphasizing that proper hydration is not just about avoiding problems. It is a proactive measure to support a robust, fulfilling life. By addressing these hydration mistakes, you could lower your risk of urinary tract infections, maintain a steadier mood, and even preserve cognitive function. You might also help stabilize your blood pressure, thereby reducing the chance of dizzy spells or falls. These benefits, taken together, offer a better baseline for daily activities, from enjoying a walk around the neighborhood to staying mentally sharp for conversations with friends and family. Hydration is a foundation that supports so many other aspects of your health. That is why it is important to take action. Start by selecting one of these mistakes you see in your own life. Maybe you decide to keep a water bottle by your favorite chair. Maybe you swap your second or third cup of coffee for a cup of low-caffeine tea with a water chaser. Or you might reach out to your doctor to ask whether your medications impact your electrolyte balance. Whatever you do, begin with something that feels achievable. Over time, you can layer in additional strategies without feeling overwhelmed. Today is a perfect time to take the next step, whether it is as simple as filling a glass of water right now or scheduling a chat with your healthcare provider. You will be surprised how quickly a small tweak can yield tangible benefits in your daily comfort, energy levels, and overall sense of well-being. If this conversation has piqued your curiosity, consider giving it a try for at least a week. Note how you feel, both physically and mentally, and see if you detect any subtle shifts. Thank you for watching and for considering the ways you can optimize your hydration. If you are ready for more tips, you might explore videos that focus on senior nutrition or on balancing activity levels to support joint health. You could also join an online group or local community center program where seniors share healthy lifestyle tips. The important thing is to remember that you have the wisdom and the ability to make these choices. No matter your age or current health status, small daily improvements can add up to meaningful changes in how you move through the world. Stay proactive, stay curious, and stay hydrated. You deserve to live each day feeling as strong, steady, and clear-headed as possible. Your body will thank you for it, and your mind will too. With a bit of intentional planning and self-awareness, you can avoid those common pitfalls and truly support your body's natural ability to remain well-hydrated and resilient. Remember, this is not about perfection, but about mindful living, guided by respect for your body's evolving needs. So go ahead and take that next sip of water and let it be a gentle reminder that a healthier, happier day lies within your reach.